What's up YouTube, it's your boy JP's on the keys and it's 2 intimate video today. We got something special for y'all on this fine Sunday morning, afternoon, whenever you see it. This is the toughest villages in Britain. I did a video on the toughest pub. I mean, a lot of you guys liked it. There was a comment about reacting to this and it got a couple of likes. So I figured why not do the whole 5-part series in one video. Hopefully YouTube don't copyright this. Oh my lord, please don't. I want this on the channel, please. But if it get copyrighted, you already know where it's going on the Patreon. You already know. But what I'll probably do is get to toughest villages in Britain. I'm excited to see this.
In this modern age, city folk wanting to escape the rat race have fled to the countryside. Tempted by the dream of village life, rural tranquility, and an unchanging, simpler world. It's a dream that has transformed too many of Britain's villages into city dwellers' chocolate box fantasies. But all's not lost. Join us if you dare, and we'll rip back the veil of this green and pleasant land to show you villages where townies fear to tread.
It could be an old little village. There's some tough nuts around here.
Welcome to the toughest villages in Britain.
The savages.
Alright man, I'm ready to see this.
Townies beware. We're about to wander off the public footpath and enjoy the simple life in the muddy fields of rough, tough, rural.
Why do you...
Not even get off my land, don't even look at my land.
On tonight's show, we'll learn country ways from noble huntsmen.
I always go for the heart because the head is a difficult shot.
We'll meet happy-go-lucky village youth.
You got no license, no tax, no test, and all that on me, boy. I just says, shove it.
And gentlemen farmers.
Bigger tits than Marvis.
And wherever we go, we'll be assured of a warm countryside welcome.
You come in starting gobbing off, you ain't got a chance.
Okay, I'm just like, alright.
First on our tour, we're at Killinghome on the North Yorkshire coast. It's hidden away in a cleft in the hills known as the Valley of Iron.
One time it was just a lazy little fishing village. The discovery of ironstone in 1846, it became the El Dorado of Great Britain.
Today, anyone coming here looking for El Dorado will find plenty to treasure.
Well, anyone visiting the village, it's like drawing curtains back and walking back 50 years in time. It's like Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Coming to Killinghome is a reminder of a gentler age, when man and nature worked in closer harmony.
Bought and
It's
sold.
a place where you can bump into animal lovers, like horse trader Derek.
Oh, you've got to be very, very firm, yeah. I don't like giving a bit of stick, but now and again you've got to level them up. Or they'll just take their own way, you know. It's like you don't like a smack. You know what I mean? You learn, don't you?
No one in Killinghome likes a smack.
Oh my god!
But you'll find folk in this village can get very physical. Hazel's very protective of her garden and its distinctive ornamentation.
Huh?
Just animals. And these dolls, we just get them wherever we go. If we go anywhere and we see them, we pick them, buy them. People in Killinghome are well and truly tough. They have to be. Get on the wrong side of them and they can be murdered.
Oh my god!
Killinghome is a village where you don't have to do much to get noticed.
Any visitors come, you'll see the net curtains move and who's he type of thing, and everyone in the village knows each other's business.
And they'll be only too happy to share their business with you. Stroll along the delightful riverbank and you'll bump into Mikey. He'll let you in on some of the local leisure activities, like throwing stones into the water, and tell you the story of how he was born in the toilet.
When my mum thought that she needed a shit, she went to the toilet and I popped down and she shouted my brother to come and get me out at toilet, and he said, I'm watching cartoons. She went, come and get this fucking baby before it drowns. So he come to the toilet, got me out, and went to take me into the front room because he was missing his cartoons. And she said, where are you going with him? He said, I'm going into the room. She said, cord's still attached.
What?
My mum's friend was Pam, and I think that she was born out toilet. So I'm not the only one down Skinny Grove who was born down the toilet.
If Mikey had been flushed down the toilet, they wouldn't have had far to look. Up until this year, the village's sewage was pumped straight out onto Skinny Grove Beach.
We used to have a slaughterhouse halfway up in Skinny Grove Valley, like it was an old one at the time, and all their rubbish and everything used to get tipped into drains.
So are we just looking at like just poor towns, just desolate poor towns with just fiends and what? Wow.
So okay. Out sewage pipe and out at sea. Come out at sewage pipe end there. And on easterly wind, when wind was off sea, you used to push all stuff back in. And you used to find pig's ears, pig's trotters, nails off pig's feet and all sorts, bits of cow, bits of hide off cow, and you found all sorts like that on the beach.
But as beachcomber Brian discovered, a sewage pipe on the beach isn't all bad news.
I was walking up the rocks one day and just near the sewage pipe outlet, where all sewage comes out and shit and muck and rubbish, and I found a pair of false teeth. Anyway, I just picked them up. I thought I'll have a laugh in, have a local pub with them. Anyway, there's a lad in there called Goosey. Fortnight before I found these teeth, he'd been sick in toilets and lost his teeth in toilets. Anyway, I took the false teeth out and showed him them, and he said they were his. So I gave him them back and he put them straight in his mouth, and he still has them now.
Oh!
I found them at end at sewage pipe.
Oh!
You'd think Skinny Grovers would be safe from sewage in their own houses, but even here there's no escape. The local stream has flooded twice in the last 4 years, each time with disastrous consequences.
It was up to windowsills in some houses.
Everything was ruined down here.
As soon as you get a bit of rain now, everybody's frightened. They're coming out looking at back, seeing how high it's getting, and, you know, a lot of people are frightened about it.
But the floods don't worry this young scamp. In fact, nothing does. Meet DJ, Skinny Grove's answer to James Dean, rebel without an inner tube. DJ's living proof that just because you live in a village doesn't mean there's nothing to do.
I like playing my tunes really loud. Thrashing crap out my motorbike. Driving cars. It's just boredom, that's all it is. You're just bored and you want something to do. So I just buy cars and motorbikes and just hammer hell out of them.
DJ's heroic battle against boredom hasn't endeared him to all his fellow villagers. Brian's lucky enough to be DJ's next door neighbour, and his only escape is his pigeon loft, high above the village.
And he takes engines in house and starts them up in house. So you can imagine what it sounds like in my house.
We're always complaining. You've got no tax, you've got no licence, no tax, no test, and all that on my bike. I just says, shove it. I'm not bothered.
But DJ's cavalier attitude masks a healthy respect for the law.
If I was on the road, then by law I would have to wear an helmet, no doubt about that. But if I owned the law, I would say no.
You can still get the one lad out in a village who will just make everyone else's life a total misery.
His crackers. Flip Danny. Have you been in his house? God help you.
What does this house look like?
Well, this is my house. It's not a pleasant sight though.
Bro, what the hell, man? What the?
Hey,
God, what the, man? Clean your goddamn house, man. That's just, oh my God.
Get some wallpaper in and all that, and bits of bobs. I'll get there eventually from the tip, hopefully. All my house stuff's from the tip, Gisborough tip. It's amazing what you can find. Oh, them and potatoes, all I ever eat is chips, 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 and that's all I ever eat. Oh, this is my kitchen. If you notice, it's quite a state.
Do you know one day what he did? I don't know whether I've told you.
Oh, nah, brother. You got. I know you got mice all in your house. Episode 2. Let's go to episode 2. God dang, this is crazy.
Do you know one day what he did? I don't know whether I've told you. He siphoned petrol off a car, and he took it in the house, and he tipped it down his sink, and then put a match to it. So did you put people's lives at risk doing things like that?
That's what we do. Just ball. Just thought might have some fun.
I know what I would do with him. I'd flatten him. But you get yourself into trouble, don't you?
Brian's wise not to pick a scrap with DJ. He may not look much, but he's famous in the village for his fighting style.
I'm dangerous with a petrol strimmer. It's something I like using. My main weapon, my petrol strimmer.
He even uses his petrol strimmer to settle family disputes. Recently, he went head-to-head with his dad, who came at him with a plank.
I fired it up and I was like that. I give you some. And what happens, I forgot to pull in the choke. So while it stalled, he put a 2x4 over me. So I got into him and started lamping him.
But floods, sewage and DJ aside, none of the Grovers would live anywhere else.
I'm born and bred in Killinghome. I'm 40.
So you attacking your dad with lawnmower, with gardening equipment, and he's attacking you with a 2x4.
That's tough as skinny growth people.
Oh.
There's something wrong. They'll fight.
What?
But the bad news is, DJ's not going anywhere either.
Probably there to die, like with my dad and all that. Anywhere else I don't want to move, but just down. The only place I love to go is Skinning Grove.
Bad luck, Skinning Grove.
Oh my God.
After the break, friendly competition at the village leek show.
You'll be able to recognise him the next year. Mine has a few teeth, a couple of
Welcome back, and we're in the dramatic landscape of North Lincolnshire. Untroubled by hills, this is the breadbasket of England, and bang in the middle of it is the village of Killinghome. The village has been around since the Middle Ages, and if you visit today, you'll still meet rustic yeomen outside their traditional country cottages.
People think it's rough as fuck down here, but it's not. It's not rough at all. It's quiet.
In this rural backwater, life has changed little since medieval times.
What hasn't it got a reputation for? You name it, we've got it.
There's a guy down there, he thinks his own personal SAS unit, and we're all sat around at my mate's house and that, and he come in with a balaclava on, tin of CS gas and a scaffold bar, sprayed all my mates with CS gas and I was down, and he whacked my mate, another mate of mine, in the jaw with a scaff bar, but luckily enough he got back up and took the balaclava off him and he got sent to prison for it. But when he got back out, he beat one of them up with a dog chain, and then so they went back round to his house with a shotgun and shot at his window.
With friendly folk like this around, you'd never believe this could be a village that suffers from a curse.
The curse of Killinghome. Yeah, it goes back to medieval times or whenever. I'm not 100% sure.
When the peasants of nearby Immingham asked the serfs of Killinghome for help building their parish church, they got told where to shove it.
So they put a gargoyle with its ass pointing towards Killinghome, which is supposed to put a curse on the village.
700 years later, and the church's cursed bottom-bearing gargoyle is still in place.
Whether it's worked, we don't really know. I suppose it could have done, really. I mean, I ended up here with a bit of a curse on a few people.
But people in Killinghome don't let living under a medieval spell stop them going about their normal business.
You have one loaded shell ready to fire.
It certainly never stopped wildlife expert Badger.
How many animals I've killed in my lifetime? Must be hundreds of thousands.
You ain't a wildlife expert, you a hunter.
To see that this is a man with a particular sensitivity for fellow living creatures.
In a year, I can shoot nearly 2,000 pigeons. Any type of vermin. or anything that the farmers want off their land, I will shoot it.
Like all big game hunters, Badger keeps trophies of his greatest kills.
These is teeth from foxes that I've shot, take them out and stick them in my hat as proof of the victim.
And his freezer is a treasure chest of British wildlife.
Now I've got in here rabbit, pigeon, some of the missus' shopping.
With adversaries as fearsome as these, it's important he has the right tool for the job.
This is a...
You don't skin them or do nothing. You just put them in the freezer right after you shot them. Do you dress the? Do you dress it? Does it look dressed? It doesn't look like you took you. It don't look like you gutted them or nothing. You look like you just threw them in the. Am I wrong? Do those look gutted to you? Or maybe they just frozen solid. I don't know. But what am I watching? What am I watching? What am I watching? What?
Police sniper's rifle. What they use to take out their victims. But
why does he... They're victims. Why does he say it like that? Like he wants to be a serial killer or something, bro. Hold on.
More civilized jobs.
A lot of these people, they kill your dinner. That's what they do during the week, right? And then at the weekend, they like to go out and kill a bit more. You know, that kind of gives you a bit of an insight into the mentality of these people.
I always go for the heart, because the head is a difficult shot, because if you're going for a headshot, you're going for the brain. Now the brain on a rabbit at 60 yards is not a very big target. You want to be fairly accurate.
But even Badger's been hit by the curse of Killinghome. One day, as he plunged into a thicket after a rabbit, nature struck back.
And I followed him, and the thorns come back and it busted my eyeball. I went home. When I got home, I told my mother that I couldn't see. So she sent me to bed, and I was in bed 3 days, and my face was stuck to the pillar with all the jelly
villager with a passion for the animal kingdom. At Grange Villa, John and Mick are the village's premier pig fanciers.
Better than working with fucking human beings. At least they don't answer back. That's what they do, that's what they call it, hogging. We call it shagging, but the real word is hogging. Usually you'll do it morning and maybe afternoon. Yeah, about twice a day, that's what they're... A good boar, a young boar, maybe 3 times a day. But as they get older, of course, they go off, you see. Bigger tits than my missus.
And a few more of them, let's hope. With so much hogging, it's no wonder the sweet smell of success permeates the village.
The bad smell is the pig farm.
Smells like rotten eggs.
Country smells, as they keep telling us, but when you're washing smells of it, it's not very countrified.
Is there a smell?
When you
Is there a smell? There's a smell here.
I mean, nobody ever complains.
No.
If they do, they tell the fuck off anyway.
They used to it, man. They used to it. They not worried about that smell.
What better way to clear your lungs than with a stiff country walk, taking in the local views. And there are a few more breathtaking sights than the oil refinery, which has sat on the ancient village's doorstep since 1966.
Right by the factory.
Red sky at night, Shepherd's Delight, black sky at night. You live next door to an oil refinery.
I think everybody's on edge that it might blow up. It's going to blow up any minute. You've got no hope of getting away from it, like.
Sitting time bomb. It's a bomb waiting to happen.
A recent explosion at the oil refinery has done nothing to dampen their enthusiasm for it.
We both stood and looked at each other and just went, shit.
All the houses shook and everything.
The back door went straight open. You didn't know what went on. You come outside, look at the refinery, big mushroom of smoke there.
But nothing gets in the way of the locals enjoying village activities, like visiting the local paddling pool, or holding good-natured get-togethers at the local youth club.
Oh my God!
Funny village to live in. A funny village.
Straight bullying. Y'all bullying that little boy, man. Oh my God. This show is off the wall, brother. This show is off the wall, bro.
Club. It's a funny village to live in. A funny village.
As dusk falls, Badger's out again.
He trying to kill something else.
And he's on the hunt for a formidable foe. Mr. Badger, the menace of bunnies is one problem the Killinghomers don't have to fret.
Oh my God. First of all, that is insane accuracy to hit a little bunny in the head from that far away. That's accuracy is kind of scary, I ain't gonna lie.
I call it the magic flick. You just slip the rabbit down, right down the rib cage. And this, hold it at the back and the front.
Another satisfying kill, and it's home.
Well, that answers my question. That answers my question. Well, that answers my question. Whoa, he just flicked rabbit intestines out of here.
The tough villagers of Killinghome wouldn't live anywhere else.
If I could afford to pay me mortgage off, I'd be gone.
The further Killinghome is away from me, the better, really. I'd rather look at Killinghome for a pair of binoculars backwards, to be honest with you.
And anyone thinking of slapping another curse on them, be warned. They'll give back as good as they get.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Next, we're off to the wide open landscapes of northeast England to visit Grange Villa. It's a proud community of farmers and vegetable growers that started as a row of stone cottages, but grew in Victorian times and is now home to County Durham's finest rural Geordies.
It's quiet, peaceful, and you can get on with people.
It's right in the heart of the country. It's a lovely little place to live, and we really love it up here.
And that's the way the locals like it. If you disturb the peace in Grange Villa, you can expect a friendly word.
Oh!
There can be occurrences where the police need to be called, but all in all, we can sort ourselves out ourselves, you know.
In Grange Villa, you'll find the locals full of the milk of human kindness. The vigilant folk here have a reputation for dealing firmly with any wrongdoers.
We'll have the fingers smashed and the legs smashed, without a doubt. They'll be drumming out the village, there will be spat upon when they pass in the street. That's how bad it is. That's how people think.
In Grange Villa, there's good reason to be vigilant, because there's an evil afoot in the village. It's an evil that rears its head around the time of the biggest event of the year, the Grange Villa Giant Leek Show.
Jealousy. It's a queer thing, jealousy, isn't it?
It is. Plain jealous. And all it is spite. I can't beat them, so they're not going to beat me.
In this village, it's all about who's got the largest leek.
The winners will be near the 200 cubic inch, you know, that's a nice size.
And there's nothing worse than leek envy. In the weeks before the annual show, a ring of steel goes up round the village allotments as men like Chris stand 24-hour guard against the terror of the Grange Villa leek slasher.
Then maybe about a week before the show, he'll come up and they'll be slashed. They've been doing it for 30 years now and they've never found out who's done it. The still lads getting the leaks vandalised now. They'll come into the allotments, break into the allotments. It's down them half the time. So you've got to put up with it.
If the Grange Villa leek slasher thinks your veg is longer than his, he'll pay you a visit, even if you're a village tough guy like Daz.
Mine, I got them slashed and I wasn't even in the show. But I think it's all in the leek community. Everyone that grows leeks doesn't like a man growing a bigger leek than them.
For members of the leek community, extreme circumstances call for extreme measures.
Well, I've got a thing called a bend gun. It's about that big. You put a blank cartridge in it. Then you put tripwires on it. You put them all over the gun. And if you go in and trip the wire, the gun guns off in the barn. And it frightens the people so they run away.
They don't know who the slasher is, but village leak forensics experts know he's a master of his trade.
You got a nice leak like this.
My brain is like not processing this. They have a contest over who can grow the biggest, I guess this is a vegetable, and people are going around cutting down people's crops because of jealousy. I've never heard of anything like this. This is fascinating as hell. I'm sorry, this is fascinating.
And you get the knife mark which goes nearly halfway through.
I'm like oddly hooked on this. I'm so confused, but I'm hooked.
And tears. If we catch them doing it, you get the biggest hide he's ever had in his life. And you'll be able to recognise him the next year. Minus a few teeth, a couple of black eyes, a broken nose. I mean, some of these lads, when the leaks gets slashed, the savages.
If anybody was caught in Grange Villa chanting leaks, I think they'll get the fingers broken and the legs broken. Simple as that.
Over some vegetables? Over a vegetable. Over a vegetable. Over a vegetable. I'm gonna break your fingers and your legs over a vegetable, bro. Over a freaking vegetable. I'm gonna turn you into a vegetable over a vegetable.
Prizes are as impressive as the leaks themselves, and the village club, which hosts the show, provides a sanctuary where top competitors can get away from the almost unbearable tension.
The club, the village life is really important because everyone congregates in the club.
You want anyone to think about the village, any scandal, any gossip, come to Grange Villa Club. It's the nerve centre of the village.
The Working Men's Club is the place to be seen in the village. It offers entertainment second to none in County Durham, and here you experience true Geordie gallantry. Women are allowed a spin on the dance floor, but are banned from the club's holiest of holies, the saloon bar.
The women can't go in the bar?
Women anywhere. You know, obviously, what goes on, you know, the swearing and, you know, it's not a woman's atmosphere anywhere. Sometimes you do get women where they're coming through, and there's, you know, you've got to obviously tell them, like, you know, sorry, you're not allowed in, and you get quite a few women that, you know, don't like it, but that's just one of the rules of the club, and that's it. They've got to, you know.
It is a special environment because lads can talk about anything. A lot of lads talk about their relationships, sit and talk to a bunch of women in the lounge about what's going on in your life. It's just, nah, it doesn't work out.
Oh, they said this is a guy, this is a man cave. Don't go to the bar, y'all can dance, but the bar's where we talking. This is the man talking.
But in future, men like Daz may be left with nowhere to discuss their feelings.
I think the time will come where they'll eventually we'll have to change over, you know.
No, women shouldn't be allowed in the bar. That's my personal view anyway. I'm not male chauvinist or nothing. I might be coming across as that, but I'm not. If women were allowed in the bar, I think it would spoil it.
The chill wind of equality may soon be blowing through Grange Villa. But until that sad day comes, it remains a tough, traditional village. And the club bar is still a safe place for a man to be alone with his leek.
What the
Next on our tour, we're off to the village of Hiroan.
Oh.
Perched on a hill high above the Severn Valley, many visitors are surprised to learn it's a village from the Dark Ages.
A lot of people don't realise that Islay used to be owned by Lady Godiva.
In more recent times, the Industrial Revolution left its mark. Mining was the lifeblood of the village, and the residents today still have a healthy respect for the hard work of their ancestors.
We've always been slagged off because we were a mining village and everything looked dull.
But that's all changed, and local councillors like Dennis have pulled out all the stops to turn the village into a holiday destination.
We've got a tourist information centre. It's a classic tourist information centre to attract people off the trains.
If you like miners' cottages, there's plenty to see in Hyley. Let local woodcutter Sherpa be your guide.
Whoa!
Well, the lofts all in one. You could walk from one house to the other. So if you wanted a crafty bit, you can just walk along the loft without being seen in the street.
You only have to talk to people who've come into Hyley over the years to see what a warm welcome the locals have in store for you.
They don't like outsiders. Deep down. Not everybody, but the majority.
Birmingham's only 30 miles away from Hyley, and the locals have always been pleased to see visiting Brummies.
Years ago, do you know the ship down by the river, the pub? All your local top rods used to gather there, drinking. And the Brummies, like me, and any woman would come over for a weekend. They would get them in there, lock the door, wouldn't let them out, then beat the crap out of them.
All in the past, though some incomers still don't feel at home.
I'm the outcast and I'm thinking, bollocks, I'm not having it.
Visitors to Hyley shouldn't take a bit of rough and tumble personally. It's just part of the vibrant culture of the village.
Go out on a Friday night, have a punch up with your best mate or your brother, your next door neighbour.
He's like, yeah, we just fighting. It's alright, we just fighting. Nothing too crazy. I just beat up my friend, and we.
Visitors to Hyley shouldn't take a bit of rough and tumble personally. It's just part of the vibrant culture of the village.
Go out on a Friday night, have a punch up with your best mate or your brother, your next door neighbour. Wake up next morning, your best of bloody friends again. It's just one of them places, like.
Pit villages, that's not a place to go mucking about. Big, airy arse miners. You know, they're hard people, very hard people.
Even hard people like to have fun, and in Hyley, everyone looked forward to the village carnival.
The carnival was good, but they stopped it because I think there's too much trouble.
Villagers will tell you the carnival had a reputation for getting a little argumentative.
This bloke was stood there and he went, come on then, we'll sort it out. So I walked over and his three mates come out, iron bars and bottles, and battered shit out of them.
Oh my god.
Is it?
This year, though, they've decided to give it another go. The theme is a beach party, and no expense has been spared transforming the village into a replica of a seaside resort. Everyone's expecting a day to remember.
It could be a naughty little village.
Splash, splash, boy.
Well, when they got the drink, you know.
Plenty of.
Watch out.
You can go walking and you can admire the hills and the clear and everything. You can do all that, but yeah, drinking's pretty much top of the agenda every time. But I mean, it's raised a shitload of alcoholics. I mean, we really are good at drinking.
The carnival gets underway at the castle pub. It's all fun and games. Soon it's time for the entrance of Hyley's fun-loving rural Romeos. There's no shortage of country wenches waiting to be charmed by their sweet-talking ways.
I'm doing my best, mate, to get out of Hyley. Move away. Why? Because there's no fucking slags around here anymore. Slag everything that's fucking going.
If you live in a very small rural community and you're at the age where you're starting to want to go courting, sometimes you aren't really spoilt for choice. I mean, the idea of speed dating, it wouldn't take very long.
Me, because ain't nobody in the town.
Love these green legs.
There's some girls in Hyley, women, that I consider as really close friends, like that you don't consider boning life, you know what I mean? Well, you do now again, like.
The village tug of war gives team leader Stitch a chance to reflect on what gives Hyley such a convivial atmosphere.
If you're born in Hyley, you accept Hyley ways. You come in starting gobbing off, you ain't got a chance.
As evening falls, the festivities move indoors, and the rustic revellers get swept away by the carnival spirit. says country folk have nothing to do with an evening.
I've been out with one of the groups over there. We got that red, got a man with a stool, got a flower pot, got a garden bench, and what else did we rob? An umbrella.
You can see why none of these villagers find it hard to leave.
You talk to a lot of people in the village, they all want to move out, but they don't move. Yes.
Of course.
At last, one of the rural Romeos has found happiness in the arms of an innocent country wench. As the day draws to a close, it's time to reflect on the tough magic that makes Highley the place it is.
You can't show weakness in Highland. You can't be seen to be weak in Highland. It's got to be that constant face.
So come down to Highley. As long as you've got that face, you can lose everything else. After the break, we're in Scotland for traditional Highland games.
We boats up here, Martin. They're very good scrap, you know what I mean?
And Welsh wildlife you can reach out and touch.
What is... What?
Surrounded by majestic mountain scenery, a stone throw away from the Brecon Beacons National Park, the next stop on our tour is the village of Hiroan in South Wales. If you wander into Hiroan's lush green pastures at the head of the Sinnon Valley, you'll find a textbook Welsh village, a community forged by the rugby club, the chapel and the pub. But there's a certain something that sets it apart. Just ask Bumper the Bard, who's always ready to sing an ode to the village he loves.
I've lived here since I was born. I've lived around the country, and I've got to say that I've returned. The characters and the people you find are unique. If you go back in years, there was people called Will Five Bricks. And why was he Will Five Bricks? Because he laid 5 bricks a day. Obviously, he must have laid more than that. And there's somebody called Danny Blackcock because he's a black chicken.
A true poet he is, Bumper has the perfect way of describing the spirit of the village.
Oh!
All the ingredients. You need an egg, okay, it's soft, but then you also need your hands, which are hard to make it.
It's a vision all the locals would recognise. Visit any of Hiroan's pubs and you'll hear the regulars echoing Bumper's enthusiasm.
If you live in a village where there isn't a great deal going on, anything that breaks the norm is greeted with glee and enthusiasm, and it's a huge event.
Village life in Britain since time immemorial has been enlivened by bank holidays. Days in the year when the grind of normal life is briefly cast aside as the village comes together for festivity and celebration. This bank holiday weekend in Hiroan, it's no different.
I've seen a few bank holidays where it has broken out there and everybody's fighting there.
The one bank holiday tradition the people of Hiroan prefer to fighting is the annual day trip to the seaside.
We're waiting for school tomorrow. We'll have a cracking day out tomorrow. We'll all sit on the beach for a couple of hours. We'll go and have a few drinks together and we'll all expect a very good day.
So go crack. You'll see tomorrow if you're going down there. You get a few headers on there, like, but and don't go smoking with them.
It's 8:30 in the morning, and as the world wakes up, the village...
You drinking at 8:30 in the morning? You ain't even brushed your teeth. You ain't even get out. You drinking a lager for breakfast. I am crying, dude.
Villagers are enjoying a nourishing breakfast while they wait for us. The holiday spirit is infectious.
Yo!
The big day out is about to begin. And by the time the villagers are on the bus, the anticipation reaches fever pitch as they contemplate the day of traditional seaside.
Oh my God, they all drunk.
I might have a jump when I'm down there. And a big glass of cider. And 2 vodkas.
Put the kids on the beach and we go to the pub.
They're all drinking. Good Lord.
This is fucked off. We know entering. The last time you was
Porthcall's got everything a Hiroan villager could want from a day at the seaside. Empty beaches, inviting sea, top-notch amusements, and tasty cuisine. The perfect place to come and enjoy the sea air.
It's not bad. It's smelly, but it's not bad.
There's something for everyone. So Mary, Jason and Michael have decided to stand outside the pub and wait for it to open.
This woman right is up there.
People
That's up there. I'd rather fuck her than fight her, right?
And I would.
Aye.
Ash, no.
I'm going to stay now. I wouldn't like to fuck her. Do you mean?
I can't be bastard.
Yo. They was pre-gaming at 8:30 in the morning. And then you go to the beach. And you're waiting at the bar at the beach. To the bar. Yo, I'm crying, man. This is hilarious.
Taking in the refreshing Atlantic breeze, Tony and his family find themselves strangely alone.
What are we going to do today? A couple of hours on the beach now. Take the kids to the fair. And then the grown-ups can chill out there in one of the pubs out there. Better be stuck in the house, isn't it? Huh? Well, you know that anyway.
Here in Porthcawl, there are exotic delights unthinkable in Hiroan.
Charge your pipe on the man, right? To stroke the fucking python over there. They can stroke his python for that then.
You, I'm gonna fucking python you. You're gonna fucking minge you. I'm not sure.
Tony and his family have cracked open their picnic.
Look at the sun. I told the sun to go away today. You're on plenty of wind. Lovely and fresh.
With the pub still closed, Ginger passes the time by showing off his school art project.
What the? Oh!
Go Bango.
Fortunately, the Buccaneer Inn opens, and the bank holiday booze up can begin in earnest. The villagers have travelled over 50 miles to drink in this pub. It's a welcoming home from home. The afternoon wears on.
So you drink at your local pub, then you go 50 miles to the beach, and you drink in that pub at the beach.
After sampling the local delicacies, it's finally time to get back on the bus.
Which one are we on at the moment?
Mary bids a fond farewell to Porthcawl.
I know that! Fuck off now!
And on the journey home, it's time for some traditional Welsh choral practice.
She be coming down the mountain, coming round the mountain. Mountain when she comes, she be wearing wool spats when she comes. She be wearing wool spats when she comes. She be wearing wool spats.
It's been a long but happy day. Safely home, the villagers slip straight back into their normal lives. The tough spirit of this village goes wherever its people go. Who can express it better than Bumper, the Bard of Hiroan?
There's no glory about living in Hiroan. The glory is the fact that you live in Hiroan.
Oh, man.
Last on our tour, we're off to Scotland and visiting the Ayrshire village of New Cumnock. At over 600 metres above sea level, it's one of the remotest villages in southern Scotland. and was a favourite haunt of the country's national poet, Robert Burns. Even today, the locals get poetic when they sing its praises.
Grew up here. I love the place. Always will fucking love it. That's where we're from. You know what I mean? Better known place in fucking Britain anyway. Yeah.
Robbie Burns was attracted to New Cumnock by its wild emptiness. And if you come today, you'll still find plenty of that. Anyone wanting to get out of the city will find plenty of available properties in New Cumnock.
It's a ghost town, like God's city, and everybody's thinking they want to get out of it.
The shopping may not be what you're used to, but you'll always find a friendly local ready to tell you about the village.
It's probably not that bad a place to be, Ken. It's a safe bet. You've not a lot of kind of violence and drugs and things like that. And there's violence between the young, us youngins, but I'm not talking about shit.
If you really want to know what a village is like, ask a local farmer. Walter's family till the fertile soil around New Cumnock.
New Cumnock will be as tough as they come. We get dubbed the arsehole of Ayrshire because everything seems to be dumped here.
Scotland's city dwellers come to the village in droves, and they're always assured of a warm country welcome.
They're dumping what they don't want anywhere else. They're dumping them in these wee villages.
The Glasgow,
that's what
everyone.
Maureen and Jean's family have served up hearty fare at the village's Tam O'Shanter Cafe for 35 years. Their food has always been popular with the locals.
This place has been brought
They put the security camera in a cage.
over the years. There was still biscuits, lemonade. Only thing it was
The
in
hams,
there is
hill hams, cheese.
It cost what? It cost for a joiner to come and sort the mess that they made was more than what they stole.
The ladies would have called the police, but some of the locals beat them to it.
Oh, our local police station, it burned down with a local use a number of years ago.
No one knows who did it, but the amateur detectives in the village have a theory.
It was one of the one summer nights and it just caught fire. Accidentally, of course.
A lot of you teenagers are bored, you know, in towns where there's plenty to do, you know, and PlayStations and cable TV, but if you're in the middle of nowhere, that boredom must be magnified 1,000 times. I mean, you can back picture going around your mate's house. Oh, you coming out? What are you going to do?
What better way, you may think, to channel young minds than with a sporting game of village football? But first, a word from the coach.
You know what, even I was dealing with Yarton Blanco. Get fucking sorted here!
These are kids, bro.
In New Cumnock, you'll find the locals' passion for football expressed with dignity, coherence, and a warm respect for the game's legends.
Alan Hansen, he's the biggest English wanker out. He's a fucking English tosser.
He's a fucking turncoat.
Badman's, aye.
Yeah, he's a turncoat. He kept doing his
Celebrate
scores
scores for fucking England.
He's a fucking twat.
Just cause it shows he gets money like that.
Irrational
Call him a turncoat.
Wherever you go in New Cumnock, you'll see evidence that there's nothing these villagers enjoy more than an old-fashioned celebration.
Oh my God.
Have a right good scrap, you know what I mean? But
A raging thirst seems to unite young and old alike, bringing the generations together. It's so important that on every street corner you'll find youngsters getting in training. Yep, people are falling over themselves to come to New Cumnock, so why not drop by and discover its magnetic appeal?
although the place is deprived and I hate it, it still keeps bringing me back.
So, our tour comes to an end. But what sights we've seen. A whole country culture fighting gamely against urban sprawl and anything else threatening its traditional way of life.
Britain today isn't about Walmarts and shopping centres. It's about tough little villages, preserving what we hold dear, keeping the spirit of Britain alive.
So don't write off our country cousins. In our rush towards so-called urban sophistication, we should not forget that the foundations of this great nation were laid in the fertile soil of village values and the tough spirit of country folk.
One of the good things about these villages is the fact that a lot they're left behind. It's like the land that time forgot. So it means you don't necessarily have to travel the other side of the world to find a whole different culture. And that's quite cool. It's on your doorstep.
Okay, bro. What the? Nah, I think the parts that got me, the leeks, definitely the leek contest when he cut that rabbit open and just flung the intestines out like they was just like he was wringing out a dirty towel or something. He just. I don't know, man. This show is wild, but. Definitely let me know if you want me to watch some more stuff like this. Hopefully I can put this on YouTube. Hopefully. But thank you. I hope you have a great day. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're to my channel. Turn on my post notifications if you haven't already. Check out my gaming channel. I just posted a gaming video like yesterday. So check that out. Link will be in the description. But be safe, stay on the grind. I'm out. Peace.